All my bitches, hi guys, welcome to a brand new video today. So this video is all about The 100 season 1. So, okay, bit of background information. I have seen The 100 seasons 1, 2, 3 and like a little bit of season 4, but then I stopped watching it because I think the show went on break and then I just never kind of went back to it. I kind of had too many shows and I just kind of stopped watching it. But now I'm getting back into it, and I'm gonna try and do reactions to season 5. So if you want that, let me know in the comments. But I thought while I'm catching up, I do a review slash recap video of like each season, so like season 1, season 2, season 3, and season 4. And then when we get to season 5, I might do like reactions or something. I don't know yet. Let me know. As I said, if you want it, let me know in the comments. So this video is all about season 1 because I just finished watching it yesterday, and I now have time to film this and like talk about it. Because I wanted to I didn't want to do reactions to every episode. I wanted to like binge it because I got so into it. And I do enjoy the show. So I asked you guys to ask me some questions about season 1 only. There may be spoilers with other seasons because I have seen them. So I may slip and give a spoiler. So if you haven't seen the other seasons, maybe refrain from watching this. I don't know what I'm going to say. So we'll see what happens. But before I answer the questions, overall, The 100, I really enjoyed season 1. It was a little bit slow at the beginning. See, okay, so the first episode, when they finally crashed down to the ground, when the 100 are sent to the ground, and they discover that Earth's actually habitable again, I thought it was a good premiere episode. It was intriguing enough for me to keep watching, because that's what I remembered when I first watched it. But it was a good, interesting premiere that would keep me wanting more. So I was like, cool. Loved the first episode. Episode 2 happened and it was a bit slow. And I was like, nothing really happened. I was kind of just like wandering around. Like it wasn't really anything interesting happening. But then from episode, I think it was 3 onwards, when Charlotte killed Wells, that was when shit started to happen. I was like, holy crap, like they just did that? And then like the whole thing with Murphy getting banished, and then like Lincoln, and like a lot of shit happened. And like the arc as well, like I got into that storyline as well, like them with the traders, like a lot of shit happened. So from episode 3 and 4 onwards, like it was a ride. Like I was hooked. Like oh my god, this show is so good. And then Finn, like, I forgot about Finn, and then I saw him in the first episode, because, like, you know, we know what happens to Finn in season 2, spoiler alert. I won't say exactly what happened, but something happens to Finn, and, like, oh my god, I was emotional. So, it was pretty much, as I said, episode 3 and 4, ever since that point of Charlotte killing Wells, ever since that point, it was pretty much, like, non-stop. Like, I wanted to see every episode. And, like, we got some good flashbacks to, like, Bellamy and Octavia on the Ark, Clarke and her dad on the Ark, and, like, I totally forgot about the storyline with her dad as well. And then, like, Wells, protecting Abby, because Abby was actually the one who got the dad, who turned the dad in, and, like, Wells was like, a lot of crap happened. And then, like, Clarke and Finn hooking up, and then, like, Raven and Finn are actually boyfriend-girlfriend, but we didn't know that until she came crashing down to Earth. And then, like, he fell in love with Clarke, and then Raven and Finn broke it off. And then Jasper and Monty got captured at the end into Mount Weather. Like, and then at the end, obviously, you know, the whole Grounder storyline. Like, it was really good. And I have to say, okay, I'll answer the questions, because I think the questions are going to help me, like, what I want to say in my answers. So we have a few tweets. So first question was, how surprised were you when Charlotte killed Wells? I was actually really surprised. I mean, I remember when I first watched it, like years ago, when the first season came out, like 2013 I think it was, and like that moment I was like, holy crap, like I fully expected Wells to like survive, and then like she killed him, and I was like, holy crap, like this little girl literally just killed Wells. Like it was a quick like jab in the neck, and like that was crazy. I was like, holy shit, I did not see that coming at all. Like I was floored. I was like, I think that's the moment where I'm like, this show will go there, and I'm into it. That's the point where I was like, yep, I'm hooked. This show's gonna do things to me. It's great. Let's go. That was the point I fell in love. Most emotional moment of season 1. I think, to be honest, I think the most emotional was, having to sacrifice the 300 people for more air in the Ark. I think it was like episode 5 or 6, I think. And then, right after they killed those 300 people, they saw the flares from Earth, which meant, like, you know, Earth was habitable again. But it was just really sad, because, like, people were volunteering to, like, give up their lives so, like, their families could have a bit more air, and I thought that was really emotional. I started crying. Like, I didn't cry in the first time I watched it back then. Like, this time I cried. I was like, holy crap, this is really sad. And then I think I cried again. Actually, I think that was the only real emotional thing. That was the one I was really, like, upset about. I was like, oh my god, like, I really felt for these people. What do you think of Kane's storyline in Season 1? I'll be honest, Kane in the first few episodes was a real dick. I hated Kane. I was like, can he just stop being so, like, oh, you know, like, he thought he was the boss, he ran the place, like, and then he almost, like, floated Abby? Like, are you kidding me? Like, she's trying to, like, you know, reveal the truth about the, you know, about the Ark, that there's not much air left and stuff, and, like, they're not going to survive much longer, and then here's Kane, like, trying to hide it and, like, going to float her. Like, are you joking? Like, piss off. Seriously. But then he had his real little redemption arc, and, like, he became a good guy. Like, it was, I started to like Kane towards the last half of the season. Like, I really, you know, I really liked Kane, and he was willing to, like, I remember when they all went to go to the ground, when they went to bring the Ark to the ground, and they needed someone to manually put the jet on or something, or the rocket. They had to manually set it on, set it off, and Kane actually was willing to sacrifice himself so everyone else could survive. I thought that was a real heroic moment for him. And obviously Jaha ended up sacrificing himself for now. So Kane really developed a lot this season. He was a dick in the first few episodes, and then he became a real, like, heroic, like, member of the Ark, and I really love that. So we like Kane now. My favourite character. Favorite character, I have to say, Octavia, Raven, Monty are, like, my favourites. I like Clarke. I mean, I do like Clarke. Clarke has her moments, though. But, and no, I love Finn. I love Finn. Look, I know that he cheated on his girlfriend, but he legitimately thought that they weren't coming back down to Earth. Like, he was, you know, he literally thought, okay, you know, Raven's stuck in Ark, like, they're not going to come to, they're going to die up there. Like, he legit thought he was never going to see her again. So, like, I could understand it. And he's such a good guy. Like, he wants peace. Like, even Clarke, because Clarke, see, Bellamy, I wasn't a fan of Bellamy in the first couple episodes. Like, he was a real dick as well. Like, I was like, oh my god. He was such a, you know, macho man, like, oh my god. But as it went on, I grew to like him, and he kind of softened up a bit, and he kind of realized, and you know what, I think the reason why I didn't like him at the start was because he tried to do whatever he could to, like, sabotage making contact with the Ark because of what he did, which he shot Jaha, you know, the counselor. And he was holding on to that guilt and that fear because he was so scared about what they were going to do when the Ark comes to the ground. He tried to sever all contact with it so they would never come down to the ground. Because of those wristbands, Bellamy was taking it all off, because if the Ark ever found out that they could live on Earth, Bellamy would be in a whole lot of shit. So I think after realizing that Jaha had forgiven him, and, like, he was excused of his crime, he kind of started to relax and kind of became a better character. So it was, yeah, we like Bellamy now. He just sort of annoyed me at the start. I was like, Bellamy, dude, why are you sabotaging everything? But, like, you find out why, and then you're like, okay, you understand. So it's fine now. Like, we've got the backstory with him and Octavia, and, like, I love the brother and sister bond, but, like, you can tell that they clash a lot. Like, Bellamy and Octavia, they clash. They clash. And that's going to cause some trouble in the future, I think. But slowly, I think Clarke is kind of making Bellamy a better man in a way, because, like, Clarke wants peace. Like, Bellamy's all like, kill the grounders, like, you know, let's kill them, whatever. But as the show's going on, like, Clarke's like, no, like, we can live in peace. Like, why we didn't have to be like the grounders? And then slowly Bellamy kind of realizes, like, you know, she has a point. Like, we can do this. But then, you know, the grounders, and you know the scene that pissed me off was when Clarke and Anya had their meeting, the leader of the grounders, and then she gets Jasper, Bellamy, and Raven to, like, follow her without Finn and Octavia knowing. And then fucking Jasper sees the other grounders in the trees, like, ready to strike, and he's like, oh my god, grounders, and I'm like, but you're doing the same thing, you're literally protecting your side as well, like, the grounders are just being cautious, like you guys are as well. But then Jasper took the first shot and ruined everything, and I was so annoyed, because, like, they could have literally been in peace, like, they could have worked something out. Like, I literally thought that Clarke and Anya would have worked something out 100%. And it just annoyed me because it's so stupid, this whole fighting thing. Then they all blew up all the grounders with the ring of fire, so, you know. My favourite episode in Season 1, I had a few, actually. I loved the finale, the 2-part finale. I thought it was a really good way to end the season, with a big cliffhanger, because Monty, we didn't know about what happened to Monty in, like, the first part of the episode. Like, we had no idea, the first part. We had no idea what happened to Monty, or where was he. Like, at the end of episode 11, I think it was, he was like, oh my god, he saw something, and then he dropped something happened to him, and then we didn't know what happened. And then at the very end of episode 13, the finale, we found out Monty was actually captured by the mountain men, the Mount Weather people, and now Clarke's captured too, and like, oh my god. So, I think, actually, that didn't even tell you my favourite episode, that was just me ranting again. My favourite episode, I think it was the episode with Bellamy and Octavia, with their flashback in the Ark. Like, I really liked that. But also, the Trader episode with... Actually, I had a few favourite episodes. They all were kind of good for different reasons. Like, the last half of the season, like, everything kind of heated up and, like, things were happening. So I liked a lot of the last half of the season, actually. How do you feel about the chemistry between Bellamy and Clarke? Okay, so the biggest question people are asking me, pretty much, is do I ship Bellarke? I mean, look, I'll be honest, I was a huge Clexa fan. I am a huge Clexa fan. But I can... And in Season 1, there's not that much romantic Bellarke moments. But you can tell that they both respect each other as leaders. And I feel like they're gonna start off... They started off kind of hating each other, to be honest. Like, Clarke wasn't really a fan of Bellamy in the beginning. But as I said, as the season progressed, they started to kind of soften up to each other and, like, you know, okay, you know, respect each other. And I feel like as the series goes on, they're gonna probably maybe get a bit closer. And I could see that they do have chemistry, like, they do. The show isn't focusing on it, but you can tell that there is something there. Because really, Clarke and Finn happened, and, like, I really like them. And, like, you know, we know what happened in Season 2, but, like, I really like Clarke and Finn as a couple. And I kind of liked Finn and Raven as well. But then, you know, Raven ended up hooking up with Bellamy after she broke up with Finn because she knew that Finn... Which, fair enough, because she knew that Finn loved Clarke in the way that he didn't love Raven. Like, we knew that. So it was right for her to break up with him because, like, you can't be in a relationship with someone who's in love with someone else. You know what I mean? So, and I think that her hooking up with Bellamy was a bit of a rash decision because she thought that Clarke and Finn were off together, but really they were captured by the grounders, and then she kind of feels like, oh crap. Like, she can't, you know what I mean? Like, it was a bit of an awkward, like, oh shit moment from Raven, like, but, yeah. But I gotta say, so far, like, I could ship Bellarke if it happens, like, I reckon I could ship it, but I need to see more of it for me to actually make an official, like, oh my god, I'm in love, like, I gotta have that moment, and I haven't had that yet, so, interesting. As a whole, how much did I enjoy this season? I really enjoyed it. I reckon it was about maybe an 8. I really enjoyed it. Out of 10, 8 out of 10. As I said, the first half of the season was a little bit slow. But the one thing that kind of annoyed me as well was, like, in the first episode, they introduced, you know, the deer with, like, 2 faces and, like, this big snake thing in the water. They introduced these creatures, but they never really delved into that. They kind of just went to the grounder storyline, which I loved, by the way. But I kind of wanted them to focus more on, or, you know, at least have more of these monsters, because, like, it's really interesting to me, because I love that kind of thing. Also, the Ark storyline started off slow, but as we got the halfway mark with, like, the trader, with that chick being the trader and stuff, like, it got really intense, and, like, it was really good. So, overall, 8 out of 10 I feel like this season was, because it really picked up at the end, and I really loved it. What is my opinion on Murphy? See, Murphy, okay, when he was accused of killing Wells, they shouldn't have treated him like they did. Like, they thought he was legitimately responsible, but to, like, kind of beat him up and then try to hang him, I thought was a really big... That's another thing that shocked me. That was so extreme. I was like, shit, did you... Are you kidding me? Like, I don't think he deserves that, to be honest. And then he got banished, which I could understand him getting banished. But I kind of felt sorry for him because like, he didn't really deserve that. But then he came back, and then because the Grander sent him back with like that virus and stuff. And then he started killing everyone that wronged him, and I was like, really? Like, he started ruining things, like, and then he kidnapped, he got Bellamy, and he, like, you know, tried to make him kill himself, like, I was just like, Murphy, really? But, like, I understood, but at the same time, like, dude, like, really? Like, oh, it's just a bit of it's a love-hate with Murphy right now. At the moment, I hate him. I don't hate him, it's just like, dude, like, he kind of ruined everything, you know what I mean? He kind of ruined that plan, but I feel like he'll redeem himself, I think. But at the moment, it's a love-hate relationship with Murphy, you feel? And then also Charlotte killing herself. Chucking herself off the edge of the cliff was a real intense moment as well, which I didn't think was going to happen. And I was like, holy crap. That was crazy. And like, I mean, I hated Charlotte for killing Wells, but at the same time, she didn't really... She's a kid and she was kind of confused, but then at the same time, she killed Wells. Like, I was torn with that as well, which was really annoying, actually. Someone says, what do you think about the Reverend Clarke and Finn situation? It was done interesting. As I said, it was a good love triangle, but I'm glad that Raven realized that Finn was in love with Clarke, and she ended it like, no, like, you're in love with her, there's no point with this, which is fair enough, I totally get that. And I kind of want to see where Finn and Clarke go, because they have genuine chemistry. But, you know, season 2. So, yeah, I didn't mind normally I hate love triangles, but this one was interesting, so I didn't mind this one, actually. Do you think Wells should have lived? Yeah, I kind of wanted more Wells. I feel like he had more, character story to have, and did that make sense? Yeah, you know what I mean. And I think that could have made him a real good character, but they killed him off too early, so unfortunately. It's sad, but I would have liked to see more Wells. Do I ship Lincoln and Octavia? Yes. Oh my god. Lincoln's hot, by the way, but like, I really felt a connection between Octavia and Lincoln, like, and the whole torture thing with Lincoln as well, like, I mean, he's a grounder, I get it, but to torture him like that, I thought was a bit harsh as well. But then at the same time, Finn was dying and I needed the answer and he wasn't saying anything. So I totally understand, but oh my god, like, Lincoln, man, you should have just told him what antidote. But like, you know, see how like Octavia cut herself with the knife and like poisoned herself, so Lincoln would be like, oh my god, like, save Octavia. He's like obsessed with Octavia, man. God, can you blame me? She's gorgeous. But like, I think that they have a real connection and like they genuinely kind of love each other. Well, he loves her, and I think she's becoming to the point where she's loving him. But at the end of the season, Bellamy was never really a fan of Lincoln, but and he kind of hated him. But when the season finale happened, he trusted Lincoln to take care of Octavia because her leg or something happened to her, and he trusted Lincoln. So that was a really big thing for Bellamy to do. So that was really interesting as well. So yeah, a lot, and the Reapers are real fucking weirdos. Like, I don't know what the fuck their problem is. Aren't they cannibals? Like, don't they eat people? I think, I don't know if I remember correctly, but like, they're really interesting. Anyways, how do you feel about them keeping Anya in the ship at the end? I mean, Anya put herself into the ship, and I'm glad that Clarke didn't kill her, because Clarke's like, we're not grounders, we don't kill people. Like, suddenly, because it was really interesting as well, because these 100, these kids, these 100 people came down to Earth, and then suddenly suddenly there are no rules, because they're not on the Ark anymore, there are no rules. There's nothing, it's just they have to kind of make their own rules, and like, it's like, who's the leader? Like, how do we punish people? Which was really interesting for like Murphy, because like, you know, they thought that he killed Wells, and like, suddenly they, you know, well, if he killed him, we should kill him. Like, it was like a knife for an eye kind of thing. But then Clarke's like, we're gonna kill people now? Like, what is this? Like, this is bullshit. Like, what the hell are you guys doing? So it was really interesting to see them having to work out how to make their own rules and like live by these rules, you know what I mean? It was really interesting. And I think having Anya, saving Anya, and, you know, keeping her as a hostage, proving to Anya that they're not killers like them, like, you know, they're better, they can do better, we can be better. Like, it's another way to show Anya that we can live in peace. Like, this is just all stupid, these fists fighting each other. Like, we're all humans, like, we should be able to live in harmony. So I think it was really interesting, actually. So, yeah, that was kind of my thoughts on the 100 Season 1. And this video kind of went a long time, more than I wanted to, actually. But yeah, that was my review slash reaction-ish, I don't know, to the 100 Season 1. Also, Abby are now on the ground. So I'm excited with Abby and Clarke's relationship because Clarke, you know, Clarke found out the truth about Abby. Like, she was the one who sacrificed the dad, her husband. So it's going to be really interesting to see when they kind of reunite and, like, how it's going to be a bit awkward, that tension, because Abby's going to have to try and make it up to her and stuff. So, and Jaha is still up in the Ark by himself. I think he comes down eventually. So it's gonna be interesting. And I do actually really like Abby. Like, she's one of my favorite characters as well. So overall, it was a really interesting start to the season. As I said, it started off a little bit slow, but interesting. And then as it went on, it picked up and it got, like, really, like, intense. Like, I started binging it, like, 4 episodes a day. Like, it was crazy. So yeah, I cannot wait. If you guys want to see more of this review reaction type thing that I do, let me know in the comments. I'll be doing a reaction and a review video like this one for Season 2, 3, and 4. And Season 2, we're going to have a lot to talk about, even Season 3, and probably Season 4. And then if you want to see me do reactions to Season 5, let me know, and then probably Season 6 as well, when it airs. So let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys for another video in this week. One on Earth, maybe. Alright, ciao for now, guys. Bye!